Hi, it's the Chappiness guy, and that's the Chappiness wife. Welcome to this episode of Vestibular Talks. Today's special guest is Rishi. Rishi is a vestibular warrior, a fighter. He promotes positivity, resilience, and he's also a scotch and beer aficionado. Rishi has an Instagram account called Vestibular Balance, where he shares some insight and some advice that has helped him through his vestibular journey. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy the episode. Find your champion's guys. Hi, Rishi. Welcome to this episode of Vestibular Talks. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Johan. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me and to tell us a little bit about your journey. Appreciate it.
Sure. I live in New York right now.
Nice.
I work in finance. I'm a tech person, and I've been in the US for around 7 years now.
Okay.
And the reason we are having this chat because I'm also a fellow vestibular disorder sufferer.
Mhm.
Uh, my disorder started in March of 2020 where I was hit by a viral flu, and then I was resting, and then one day I just went out for getting some food, and then I had like a tremendous spinning attack. Like everything was moving around me for like around 30 seconds. Was something very new. I didn't understand what's happening. I had
Yeah.
to yeah, and I was on like middle of the street, so I had to like hold the lamp post over there. 30 seconds later, the spinning stopped. I went and picked up my food, but my heart was racing. I was so panicked and something like
Yeah.
this is something about like I was thinking what's happening, but then I thought like I just came out of the viral flu, maybe just a side effect of that or the medications I'm having. I just slept through that night. Next morning, I wake up and I'm all dizzy. Like I'm not able to walk straight.
Yeah.
Everything is like I'm walking on the cushion or like rocking boat, the most familiar adjective everyone uses over here right now.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then I went to an urgent care because I was so scared, like what's happening to me, and I was so anxious, panicked. They brushed me off, saying that you have BPPV and just take meclizine, go home, sleep, and rest for a couple of days. Luckily, I called my primary doctor. He said that go and check with neurologist as soon as possible. It can be a sign of brain stroke or something wrong with the brain. So that made me so panicked that
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, I mean, I was super scared at that point in time. But as I told you, it was beginning of March 2020, and that's when the COVID hit.
The pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic, and then all the doctors' offices and everything was closing down very soon. But luckily, I got an appointment with a neurologist. Like I just browsed through Google, and then I luckily found one neurologist. She saw the symptoms. She did some tests on me. She said that you don't have BPP. She did some reflex test on me since she said that like you don't have any brain stroke or anything right now,
Which is good. Yeah.
which is good. But I want you to have MRI as soon as possible because I want to rule out everything what you have right now.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got an MRI. Everything came out clean, and then she said like you should go to ENT. It seems something wrong with your ear. But then all the doctors' offices were closed by then. Like it was like around March end or April. It was shut down. So the first appointment I got with my doctor was around like in June. He prescribed me to a vestibular therapist. They did some tests like VNG test, audiogram test, all those oscillopathy. I don't remember the name, but like
Yeah.
something they put on your ear, on your eyes, and they check your nystagmus and all those things. And it came out like I have 35 or 40% damaged right ear, so unilateral hypofunction, and that's why I was having this disbalance and disorientation and all those feelings. battling down that, I did my therapy very graciously. I did that like every day for 3 months. uh, I was back on track, like I would say 20-30% more than what I was feeling. But then I had to continuously kept on doing it. And then today I would say I'm 60-70% fine. Some days I'm back to the old days. But yeah, man, this is the journeys I've been working hard. So this is like an on off thing going on with me.
So you have been dizzy every day since March, correct? 2020.
Yes. So it's only when I'm walking. So
Oh, only
and
when, so if you're sitting or if you're laying down, you don't feel it?
no, so it's like I'm only imbalanced. I'm not like nothing is spinning. I'm not dizzy as such. Like dizziness is a broad term, but like
Yeah.
I am imbalanced. Like my right side is, it's like one wheel of the car is bigger than the other wheel. So you're, yeah, it's that kind of feeling.
Okay, that's good. That's good because for me at the beginning, and well, at least about a year, it was all the time, even sitting down, laying down, and I would lay down and feel like the bed was tilting and that I was falling to the side. So I would have to hang on to the bed. And I'm like, oh, and my wife would be like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm falling. She's like, you're not. But I would feel in my head like I was tilting. So yeah, so you're blessed. You that you only get it when you're walking. Yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned that. So in the beginning phases, it was like something which you mentioned. I was not feeling like something is tilting, but it felt like I was sinking into the bed. So
Yeah.
it was that feeling for me in the beginning. So, but I think the vestibular therapy, I guess, helped eliminate it. So I did not feel it later on. But now from that point, like around August, September of 2020 till now, it's only while walking I feel like very imbalanced. Or and the biggest trigger is when I'm on computers. That's why I wear these glasses.
I was just going to ask you, yes, because with me, for example, I have a lot of visual vertigo or visual stimulation with the, I can watch TV. Like if I try to watch TV, it makes me really dizzy. If I look at my phone for too long, I feel like I'm falling. And if I look at the computer for more than an hour, same thing. So that's, I was going to ask you if you feel the same way.
Uh, I don't feel much with the TV or the phone. I do feel it, like obviously if you overdo it, so I do feel it. But since I work in tech, my job is like in computers all the time. Yeah, so the screens are my biggest triggers, and that's why I have like all the warm setting on my computer screen. I have those blue lush filters, and then I'm wearing these glasses. So I think it eliminates like 50% of the effect. But yes, screens are my biggest triggers, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. Rishi, do you believe that the viral infection triggered this?
I think so. Maybe, I mean, because the doctor said that this is a very common vestibular like diagnosis they have made, that if someone has unilateral or bilateral dysfunction, it's usually because of some kind of viral infection you had.
Hmm. And then now, so you did the vestibular rehabilitation therapy. Is there anything else that they are doing or that they suggested, whether it is uh, medication, whether that is supplements? Like, did they say anything, or they just said, "Oh, do the VRT and then you'll be good"?
Yeah, I mean they said that do not take much medications. Like, so the most popular one is meclizine. So they
Yeah.
said that do not take that because it suppresses your vestibular system, so you're not able to. So that basically delays your progression in this recovery. So do not take that, they said. Uh, Apart from that, my neurologist, he said that wait for a couple of months or wait for some time, see if you feel back on track, and see if you need to have some medications, then you can have it.
Mhm.
But right now I'm not prescribing any medications for you. So I was like, that's fine. I mean, but apart from that, he told me to do like more of meditation,
Yeah.
uh, breathing techniques, some yoga, because anxiety is through the roof, and panic attacks
Yeah.
are like crazy in this disorder, because this is
Yes.
something which your body has never experienced. And I was like super anxious and super panicked all the time. But thankfully, because of this yoga, I did also did tai chi. Tai chi is the Chinese form of meditation. Like, yeah, the slow movements, and yeah, the traditional meditation. I guess that has helped me to reduce my anxiety and stress levels.
Yeah. Same
Yeah.
here. Richie, so the symptoms that come with this, especially the dizziness, like you said, is a very broad term and it's hard to explain.
Mhm.
What about your family members, your loved ones, people around you, people at work? When you were trying to tell them what you were experiencing, what was the response?
That's a loaded question. I mean, first of all, no one got it. I mean, uh, they couldn't see what's happening to me, and they didn't understand what exactly I mean by imbalance. I mean, no one has experienced imbalance in their lives, so it was super hard to explain it to them. But then I found out few articles and few videos on YouTube, which I showed to them, like what exactly I mean and how does it feel. And then it had some visual effects, like how does a vestibular sufferer feel. So that's when they saw that, that's when they realized this is what is happening to me. And the series what we did together, the life rebalance chronicles, when I showed it to them, that's when they realized like how big of a chronic illness this is. And they are now more empathetic towards it. But in the beginning it was like, no man, they were not getting it.
Yeah, no, same here. Richie, how did this impact your social life and your professional life? Because many people that get conditions like this, they can work anymore. It's hard for them to be able to function. And their social life also stops because they are not able to go to clubs, they're not able to go to loud places, they're not even able to go to supermarkets because of the visual stimulation. How was it for you for your social life and professional life?
It was the biggest dent, I would say, in my life, because I'm a very social person and I like to go out with friends, go out for like drinks, do some clubbing and all that sort of fun. But in the initial phases, I couldn't even sit in my own room with the lights on. So it was like that bad of a situation. Uh, for work wise, I would say I'm a very passionate person about work and stuff. So initially when this was happening, I told my manager that I need to take some break. So I just took like a couple of weeks or a month off from work. But then when I was like doing this vestibular therapy, I made sure that I am spending my time on screens too, so that I can train my brain,
Yep.
because that's what I know and that's what I do, and that is my livelihood. So I wanted to get back to work. So slowly and steadily, I trained myself and I exposed myself to these situations, like working on computers. Then I started going to supermarket, which is still very visually triggering for me. Supermarkets are the craziest places to be in. Uh, but I make sure that I try my best not to avoid them and always be in those places. So even though it is very stimulating, I just make sure that I do
Have you had to pretend or hide your symptoms in order to appear okay to some people?
that every time. I mean, in offices, if there are social gatherings, like people expect you to like be part of the whatever is happening, like group meetings or after office happy hours, all those things. uh, those are the toughest times for me, I would say. Or even like being with friends and even at their house, if we are having some fun, we're playing board games, and I'm like a little bit checked out. So I just like tell myself, okay, be back to the situation, you have to be with them, so that they don't feel awkward, and I feel awkward myself that I am in a situation where people are looking at me. So yes, that happens a lot still.
Uh,
So yeah.
Richie, one of the biggest triggers for me is sleep, like lack of sleep. So I tend to be very careful with my schedule so I can fall asleep around 9 p.m. and I can wake up around 6:30 or 7 a.m. Does lack of sleep affect you or not at all?
Oh, surely it does. I mean, I definitely need now 7 to 8 hours of sleep for sure. Earlier, like I could spend easily my day with like 4 hours or 5 hours of sleep, or like very minimal sleep. I'm a night person, so I used to
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm a nocturnal person. I used to be more productive when I was in the night and I was working and all that stuff, but not anymore. I think I definitely need sleep, and sleep is one of the factors which contributes towards the dizziness next day.
Yeah. One of the most difficult things for people with vestibular disorders is being able to learn how to drive again. I know you have a Mustang, like myself.
Yeah.
I find joy driving my Mustang. Has that changed for you, like being able to drive, or you adapted to it, or how is it?
Yeah. So Johan, so what happens is the things which makes me dizzy, I try to do it more and more. So that's how I am trying to overcome the factors which are affecting my daily life. And driving was one of them. And I love cars. I love drive. So what I did was October 2020, I took like a drive from New York to Ohio, uh, cross country, almost like half a country, to my friends. Was like around 12, 13 hours of drive. Uh, yeah, and I challenged myself like, okay, if you want to drive, so try to do this. I took like 3, 4 breaks in between. Every time I stopped, I knew that I'm dizzy, and I knew that it's getting blurry for me. And but nonetheless, I made sure I kept driving. That was the most terrible experience, I would say. In after longest time, I had driven any vehicle because of my disorder. But I would say that thing has definitely made me like I can drive now. So I'm susceptible for any diseases due to driving. So I can drive perfectly now.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's a really long drive, man. Because if I drive probably for more than 5 hours a day, I can feel it. Like I stop and I feel like I'm still moving even when I'm on the brakes. I feel like my body's moving even though it's not. So I'm like, yeah, I driven for too long. So that drive that you said, 12, 13 hours, that's pushing the limits, man. That's pushing the
Yep.
boundaries already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so Rishi, now tell me a little bit about your experience with joining the Live Rebalance Chronicles. How was it for you getting to know the other team members, getting your story out there for the world? Like, how was that?
Amazing. I mean, heartwarming. It it showed so many, like it gave me a purpose that this documentary or a series, I would say, which I'm being part of with amazing cast, which everyone I speak to now, like it's like a small family who understands each other. So it's like it's a first family for all the vestibular sufferers, I would say, and especially for me, I can speak my heart out to all of you, and including you too, for sure. uh, this has been a life changing documentary for me because now I have a resource which I can show to everyone what exactly this disorder is, and it's not just me; it's people around the world. That's where all the people come from, and this is one of the first links I sent to all the people who are contacting me. So I am on Instagram. I promote vestibular health, like all the vestibular sufferers. I promote them some guidance, some tips. I have an Instagram channel at Vestibular Rebalance. Um, so over there, people have reached out to me after seeing this documentary. So I felt like my some purpose of my life is also to help others who are in need, who don't have these resources, who don't know how this disease works, and that's why I'm like so blessed, I would say, to be part of this documentary, and it's touching lives everywhere, I guess.
You're right, and it's such a, at least for me, it was a very emotional experience, like you said, because you feel like you found a group of people that, whether or not the diagnosis have different names, it's almost like we are so connected by our life journeys and by the symptoms and by everything that you almost feel like it's almost when you were talking, sharing your journey, when Sandy was talking, when Nicole was talking, when Steve on the Vertigo was talking, like you feel like it is you
Yep.
saying your story because you're like, that's it, that's me, that's my symptoms, that's how I feel, that's how I view it. So
Yeah.
it was a very emotional aspect for me. Like I cried a couple of times. I'm not gonna deny it. I cried watching it a couple of times, and I often feel like I wish. I mean, I'm blessed that we were selected for this amazing purpose, for this amazing program from Vida. But I almost wish, like, every vestibular sufferer could also tell their story, because so many people want to share, want to speak up, want to raise awareness,
Mhm.
because as you know, Rich, like vestibular disorders are so misunderstood, and they are
Yes.
also like, I don't want to say undermined, but people don't really are aware of them. Like I didn't know what a vestibular system was. Like until this hit me, I never even knew we had one. I
Yep.
took it for granted. Now that I have it, I am more careful with my balance. I do exercises like you do. So I almost feel like this Life Rebalance Chronicles can grow so big, to the point that people will give it maybe the same recognition and same awareness that they give cancer, for example, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel like you, that we're very fortunate to be chosen and selected for this.
I feel the same.
Richie, what does the future hold for Richie?
What does the future hold right now? I mean, I would say it's my aim is to make sure how to spread word about this particular chronic illness. It's not known. People don't know it. I don't know why. I think it's, and there are many people who are affected by it, but I don't know why it's not known yet.
Yeah,
Um, so my biggest uh, passion, I would say, at this point in time, is to make sure all the people around the world, I can help them out and recognize what is happening to them. And personally, I think, man, I want to have my back to have my life back to normal, but in certain way. Now I know the pros and cons, like how life should be led. I know, like, there are certain things we should do versus we should not do, and every small or bigger illness should be taken seriously, because this is like a viral flu. Every person in the world has gotten viral flu, and you end up with this chronic illness. So uh, it's like making sure I take care of my health. I've been more active recently, like from last year, obviously. So making sure that I lead my life in a way where everything makes it towards like gaining a good aspect of the next life, what I have coming for me. So I'm just being positive, nothing else.
yeah. And you know what's interesting that you mentioned about the viral flu or the viral infection, because many people that have gotten COVID-19 end up complaining about vestibular symptoms after the infection. They say that they are feeling dizzy all the time, that they are feeling fatigue, that they are feeling like off balance, like off kilter, like something is not right. So you're right. Maybe a viral condition, not for everybody, of course, but for a lot of people, it triggers something in us, or it damages something in our vestibular system, that
Hmm.
it causes conditions like this. Because even people with herpes, the herpes virus, it can manifest itself in many ways. It could be mono, it could be shingles, it could be actual herpes like genital herpes or mouth herpes. It can be different manifestations of it, but a lot of them that have had it, the virus, they after that they get a vestibular disorder. So I think you're very right. Like they seem to be connected somehow. It's like the viral infection damages something, but you're right. We gotta be very, very careful and very diligent for our health, eating the right foods, exercising properly, things like that.
Yeah.
Richie, what would you say to someone that is just starting their journey? They are scared, they are anxious, they don't know what's wrong. What would you like to say to them?
In the beginning, I would say be patient. I mean, panic attacks and anxiety is a symptom and a side effect of this disorder. So don't be panicked that something very wrong is happening to you, like a brain stroke or something, or like tumor, because I had that feeling that something is happening very badly to
Yeah,
me.
same here.
Yeah. So, but what you have to do is make sure you're doing your exercises, like vestibular exercises, daily, because I think that's the only thing which has got me back to track, at least at to some point where I'm able to function my daily life now. So don't miss that. And I would say complement your exercises with exercises like yoga, because it is amazing for balance.
Yes.
Uh, so do yoga poses. Don't do it like don't do some strenuous poses, or don't do super, sorry, super complicated poses. Start simple, and make sure you strengthen your core, your balance, and all those things with this yoga. But like above all, do meditation and breathing exercises, because that's definitely going to reduce your anxiety part of it.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
when once you reduce your anxiety, your vestibular symptoms reduces. If
Yeah.
your anxiety increases, your vestibular symptom increases, and it's a cycle. And it
Yeah, yeah, they both, it's like they both feed each other. Someone told me once that our vestibular nerve is very linked to the vagus nerve,
yeah.
which also controls anxiety and things like that. So it's
Mhm.
like you're right, when one triggers, the other one enhances as well. And
Yep.
when one comes down, the other one really like rests as well. So
Yeah.
yes, that's why when we get panic attacks, we get so more dizzy. Like we feel more dizzy than usual. And
Yeah.
speaking of panic attacks, you made a post. Well, you didn't make a post. In one of the live rebalance chronicles, you spoke about panic attacks,
Hmm.
and I left a comment in that post on Instagram. Interestingly enough, that same night I had a panic attack, which I
Yes.
haven't had for about a year and a half. Rishi, it feels horrible, especially the ones at nighttime when you wake up, like your heart is going, you seem confused, disoriented, you're dizzy, you're sometimes even sweating, and you're in a high state of alert, like you're panicked that something really bad is happening or is about to happen. How do you deal with those?
So it's very difficult to deal with. I mean, when that kicks in, all the sane things what I'm talking about goes out of the window. I mean, it's like your brain does not know how to attack or deal with the situation. But now recently, I have started the breathing thing. So I just inhale deeply, calm myself down, and then I start some music like rain on the windows, like from the app, some like Calm app or Headspace, all those things. So I start that kind of music, and it really calms me down. It takes, but in the beginning it was so terrible. I was just like couldn't sleep, and I thought like if I sleep, something is going to happen to me in the sleep. And yeah, and panic attack symptoms mimics heart attack symptoms.
Yes.
Like, it gives you chest pains, it gives you arm pains, numbness, all those things. And then you start feeling like, oh my god, like am I getting a heart attack? I mean, how and why? And then I wear this watch, and it shows that your heart is racing faster. But then after speaking to my doctors and everything, they told me that panic attack is almost similar to like what you feel in heart attack. So don't worry, just try to stay calm. And then there are like some herbal techniques like some lavender candles and all those things. If you try to do that, it might just help you calm down. I don't trust it like much, but I would say breathing helps me to
Yes,
control the fear and panic.
for sure, for sure. Richie, if someone wants to find you, get a hold of you, talk to you, where can they do that?
So I Instagram at Vestibular Rebalance. So you can contact me over there. So I am actively replying to all the people who seek out help. Vestibular Rebalance, VESTIBULAR So
Yeah.
you can reach out to me over there. I have posted my day one journey, and then how I'm like progressing through day. How do I do my workouts? How do I go for runs and all those things? So yeah, definitely follow me over there, and I can help you out.
Nice. Richie, my last question to you is, this channel is called Find Your Chappiness, which means find your happiness. How does Richie find his chappiness?
Uh, my happiness now. I think Johan, uh, hiking, I would say, is one of the one, and then running is the one which has helped me a lot. Uh,
It's hard. Running is hard with these vestibular conditions.
Walking is hard for me. Running is easy for me.
Yeah,
Uh, Slow movements are very hard for me because slow movements needs a lot of balance and like muscle
coordination. Yeah.
yeah. Running is like you're just like going there, but running also, yeah, that's also one of the point I wanted to make. Running helps you reduce your anxiety a lot. That
Yes.
also helps you like reduce your panic attacks because it releases endorphins and all those things in your brain. So I would say that's one of the Japanese for me. Uh, I am going back to the office, so I think I am liking it, and because when you're working from home, you're on screens like every time. When you're in office, you have some breaks in screen times.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I would say that is my new happiness.
nice. That's good. And what about the Mustang?
Mustang is my like forever happiness, man. I mean,
You're
it's
gonna
my.
be surprised in 2023. They are working on a really cool Mustang right now. It's gonna be sick.
Oh yeah, you saw some posts for that.
I saw, yeah, I saw some info on it, and it's gonna be a really cool one.
Awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. All right,
Yes.
Rishi. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I know many people relate to your journey, and many people feel like, especially people from the cast of Life Rebalance Chronicles, they feel a strong connection to you because you're a very kind-hearted person. You want to help others. So yes, it's good to know that there are other people like you raising awareness, helping people, guiding people. So thank you. I'm sure this interview is gonna help many people, and I'm glad that we did it.
And and I mean, your channel Find Its Happiness is like one of the key resource for, I guess, many vestibular disorder sufferers. So your contribution is amazing, and this is like the best segue to for all the viewers you have, and all the new people who come and see and search for your content. I guess they get a lot of information, and the experiences, like people like me and other people you have interviewed. I've seen all your interviews, so it has so much like rich information, and it's like a series in itself. So I mean, you're doing like a noble and amazing work, man.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. It means a lot coming from you. So thanks.
Yes,
All
amazing.
right.
Thank
All right,
you.
brother. We'll chat soon. And yeah, keep getting better, keep healing, keep that running, that VRT therapy, and no more driving 12 hours, man. Don't do that again.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Take care.